My friends Aaron and Ryan came out to help me after work on Wednesday. We got to work on the Egress Window well. We ended up using XPS rigid insulation attached to 2x4s screwed into my curved track. Basically, it's the same plan that we used on the rest of the house, except that we're now using 2x4s instead of steel studs, and XPS instead of metal lath. The bracing and other steps are the same. To keep the screws from pulling through the XPS, we use thin strips of wood as washers. First thing the next morning, we got to bending rebar. We worked out a pretty good process to get the right radius of curvature. The engineer had specified that we had to put the rebar 2 inches from the lath, which meant we had to feed the horizontal rebar through the holes instead of just setting it outside the studs. This curved wall is 38 feet long, so we fed the rebar in from one end and pushed it all the way around, and then we put a second piece in that same hole and then tied them together where they overlapped. We had this idea that we could feed in 2 at once to save time. It didn't. It was much more difficult to wrangle, so we weren't going to do that again. After they left, I spent some time tying the rebar. It was pretty easy. I also did some other stuff that didn't get on the video, like picking up parts for my skid steer. Then I got to the electrical. I found it was easiest to cut the holes in the lath with my Dremel, but that lath really wears away the wheel. I was quoted more than $60,000 to do the wiring, so I decided to do it myself. It's pretty easy, but it does take more time than I expected, both in planning and execution. For the next step, click here or subscribe to this YouTube channel.